How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy to have you on the show. Congratulations on your win. Um,
Thank you. Thank you.
let's talk about your experience. How was the DAZN experience for you in getting a viral moment in boxing?
Oh man, it was so exciting. The most important part is like I went out there and I just had fun with it, and I just like it's that moment that like every fighter dreams of, stepping on that zone, that matchroom stage, and my team, we worked so hard to be here, and finally, we were 10-0. We finally got that little break that we've been looking for. You know what I mean?
So your manager's Peter Khan. He's obviously been doing his thing in the business and over the last few years, and he put you in a great position here. Do you believe you'll be back on the zone? Will we continue to see you there?
Yeah, Peter is the man. He's been nothing but like the best manager. I can't ask for a better manager than him. He just fits our mold so perfectly. He's family oriented, just like me and my dad and my brother works my corner. So like we're looking at December on Matchroom again.
Okay,
Not too
December.
I'm not too sure on the details of all that, but I believe they do want me back. Yes.
So on the zone as a network, there are a lot of females in your division that are, pretty known. Sinisa Estrada, Stephanie Silva. Um, is Jocasta Valle around that weight?
They're a little smaller than me. I think they're
Okay.
fighting at 105. I'm at 115, 112. So anybody in that division, honestly, like it's more so I don't care about names. I'm looking for belts. So we're at the point right now where I want a regional world title belt. I want to get my hands on a regional world title belt, and from there, sky's the limit.
So can you take me to the beginning? What got you into boxing?
I grew up around boxing. My dad boxed when he was young, so I was in a household where we watched boxing every Friday. I grew up on the likes of Floyd Mayweather's, Zab Judah, watching those type of fights, and Manny Pacquiao, and I was always I've watched it. I hit a heavy bag growing up. I knew the fight game, but it wasn't until I was 21 years old that I actually picked it up and decided to compete with it. But from day one, when I decided, I was actually playing. I don't know if you ever heard of the LFL, the Landry Football League. I was playing. It was a professional football league that was on MTV2. It lasted like I want to say every bit of like 5 years. So right after high school, I actually jumped into doing that. I played safety. I started was the youngest girl in the league, and it was fun. It was an adventure. After that, I was like, deciding what I wanted to do with my life, and um, we just kind of visited the. My brother was playing with boxing a little bit, and we just kind of visited the idea of boxing. So I had my first sparring session, and from day one, Dad was like, "I can make you a world champion." So we went with that, and we ran
Who
with it.
who said they can make you world champion?
My father,
Okay, so he's your trainer.
yeah, he's my trainer.
And who has he trained before you?
Just me. I'm his only fighter, and he fought when he was younger. He fought in Tampa, did the whole amateur thing. Went out to California and Vegas. Was managed by Billy Baxter out there in the 80s, and he just he got fed up with the boxing business itself. Being a young kid with no guidance and just kind of doing the thing himself out there in Vegas, and he pretty much walked away from his dreams and came back and started a family. Came back to Tampa, started a family, and here I am picking up the pencil and writing that out. So we're definitely gonna get a world title together.
So, how many siblings do you have?
I have an older sister that's a year older than me, and then I have a younger brother that's a year younger than me.
Okay, okay, okay. I thought that
They
your
are all
brother.
the biggest supporters. I can't
I
ask for better
thought.
siblings.
I misunderstood earlier. I thought you said you had an older brother. So that's why Daddy's little girl took up boxing because you came first. Obviously, that's amazing though. That's good, and a lot of fathers get their first opportunity with their child in this sport. So it'll be great to see you guys get that world title together.
Of
Um,
course, yeah, it's been
did
fun.
you,
It's been fun.
did you do bodybuilding at all, or is that genetics?
No, it's genetics. It's genetics. My dad was wiry and skinny. My brother, if you see my brother, he's wiry and has got crazy muscle tone. So yeah, it's just genetics. I did like to lift weights a little bit, but never any thought of like stepping on a stage, or that just wasn't my thing. Never I just didn't see
The
anything
point?
like building a body for no point for like no performance. You know what I mean? You're just standing on stage and you look good. Like I've always been an athletic person, so I played. I grew up dancing, tap, jazz, ballet, all that. You know, as a young girl, and then my first sport that I took up was tennis, and I was really good at tennis, but it just wasn't aggressive enough for me. Then I played basketball in high school, picked that up a little late, but was starting with girls that had been playing their whole life. I was just fast and could steal the ball, naturally athletic. Played flag football in high school, ran some track, and you know, just kind of dabbled in a bunch of different sports. So I've always had that natural athletic ability. And when I took into boxing, it kind of all came together because I'm also like I was very a shy person. So like it was a way for me to express myself through my hands and not talking. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So you picked it up at 21. Um,
21.
how? When was the first moment you knew you wanted to take it seriously?
You know what? Like even before putting the gloves on, I just loved I knew I was a fighter. You know, like I love going in the garage every night and hitting that bag for 30 minutes. So like I knew if I got the opportunity to actually put the gloves on, it wasn't a matter of let's do this for fun and see where we go. Like I want world titles. So from day one, I've asked anybody that's known me the first day I've stayed that I've stepped into a boxing gym, like I'm the hardest worker in a gym. Like I've trained like a professional since I was an amateur, like from the very first day. The goal was always world titles. It was never like let's play and see how far we can go. It's the world title. That was the main goal when we first started.
How many amateur fights did you have?
Not many, 10. I had 10
10.
amateur fights. Kind of sat low, took my time, and I don't miss I don't miss sparring at all. I spar twice a week, so I like to say that like my experience isn't on paper, but I mean I beat girls with 80, 90, 100 amateur fights. You know I do well, so I think my lack of experience earlier in my career, I think my athletic ability overtook that and my aggressiveness. But now my skill set, my experience is right up there. So I kind of throw that's not the narrative anymore. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. I mean, I can tell that they groomed you in the professional so that you can get some experience. Early on, you suffered a draw, and that young lady seems to have retired or hasn't fought since then. Did you ever
Mhm.
try to avenge that draw?
You know, I
Not
haven't seen
avenge it. You
anything of
can't avenge a draw, but I mean, right the wrong,
right, right,
right?
right. Well, yeah, you know, when I go back and watch that fight, I think, sorry, I think the draw came from more than just, it was just a little political, which is cool. It actually, like, I think it was my turning point of like, okay, let's sharpen up everything so they can't take any fights away. Um, I mean, if the girl, if she won, I haven't seen her fight since, so it's never really been a thought. I think if I've seen her active, and of course, you know, I want to fight her again. I would probably most likely dominate or stop her. But we've grown so much since that time. But it was a good turning point because it made me really like say, hey, look, yes, we're naturally talented, but that girl had like 100 amateur fights. So you know, I was in there with a girl with 100 amateur fights, and you know, she tied me up when she had to, and I didn't have much. Much inside box game because I'm a long fighter. But that turned my point to, you know, we're going to sharpen up every single aspect of our game and not just be one dimensional. You know what I mean?
For sure. So obviously, this is a live interview. People are asking your age. You're 31 now, right?
I'm 31, yes. My
So
birthday was in April.
te- happy belated, and
Super
obviously
delayed.
that's now 10 years of experience. So
Yeah,
um
yeah.
is there any of the champions in your division with the zone? Do you have that to look forward to?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think that we're now at a point where Matchroom is they're signing girls in my weight class. I think before the girls were a little heavier, So I am looking forward to these girls. The prospects that they have overseas and stuff. I'm not really big on fighting. I don't really care about the names, honestly. Like, I want somebody with the world title. But I don't think there's. I'm trying to think of who with Matchroom has a world title. I'd have to go back and look at it. But yeah, if they have a title and Matchroom like gives me an opportunity, of course, I'm all for it.
Now, are you naturally southpaw, or did your dad change you?
I am ambidextrous. I am naturally southpaw. Yes, left-handed. Do everything predominantly left-handed, but I'm comfortable on my right side. I can eat with my right side. I write with my right. I can write with my right hand. But no, I'm naturally left-handed. I'm just very comfortable on my right side.
They have you listed as orthodox, but I feel like you were fighting out of the southpaw, especially when you got the knockdown.
Yeah, southpaw is just a huge advantage, all in all. You know what I mean? So why not fight the way that is advantage to you? But no, I am a natural southpaw.
What's your thoughts on Beatrice Ferreira? She's with Matchroom, but I believe she's a lot heavier than you.
She's a lot heavier. Oh man, she is a force to be reckoned with. Let me tell
Yeah.
you. If I say anybody like that division should be on notice about that woman. She is a very dangerous fighter.
It's that
Um,
35, right?
yeah, I think 35. So
Yeah,
there's a lot
she's
of
a
good fights at
beast.
that. Yeah, she's a beast, man. Me and Dad, we talk about her all the time. When we see her, she's very impressive. Uh, Probably a big, big force in that division.
Now, 10 years ago when you started this, did you and your dad have professionals in your mind? Because women's boxing 10 years ago, it wasn't as big as it is now. I mean, it's booming now. Like, it's kind of the thing.
As of like, did I watch the professional women at the top moment?
Did you think you were going to have a career in boxing as a
Oh,
woman, knowing that this, it didn't really exist like that, right? I mean, 10
it
years ago.
didn't, but we kind of knew it was gonna times were changing. Um, when I started, women we were knocking on the door of sports. Of course, it wasn't great in boxing, but it was more so. Look, we're gonna do this journey together, and if it gets popular, it doesn't matter. Like a world title is a world title. So like we weren't looking for it to be something of popularity. We were looking for the glory of being able to say, "Hey, I'm a world champion." You know what I mean? So popular or not, I would still be chasing my dream with this boxing thing.
So, what do you do outside of boxing? Because you just got on TV. Women's boxing doesn't pay like the men, so I'm assuming you have to do something else. Or are you blessed to be able to be a full-time fighter?
I am 100% a full time fighter, but I do.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I just when I got super serious about like you're seeing you okay, you're 4-0, you're 5-0, you're 6-0, you're 7-0. You're growing as these fights. You turn your life into boxing. I live my life like the Katie Taylors and the Amanda Serranos of the world. So boxing is anything that is in my life during the day is around boxing, and it probably has to do something with boxing. I do make money off of. I run women's fitness boot camps. I train little kids how to box. I'm really heavy on the youth side of it. I really want to be a huge influence to the youth because they really need it nowadays. So I get kids that struggle with bullying. I get kids that they're just not active enough. They're on the TV and or they're going through depression, anxiety, anything, and their parents bring them to me. So I'm blessed to be able to give back to the kids of what boxing gave to me, and I just want to give back, to the kids and be a positive influence and let them know, hey, look, you can be a shy person and be uh, whatever you're going through and be able to see your dreams through. You know what I mean? So that's what keeps me pushing. So yeah, everything I do is for boxing, like with my women's fitness and just trying to give back and be inspiration to other people.
So, you are Cuban, right?
Yes, I am Cuban, 100% Cuban on both sides, but I was born and raised in Tampa, Florida. Fourth generation. My dad's family came from Cuba. I don't know if you know any of the history of Tampa, but it was a big. Ivor was a Cuban that came down and was big in the cigar business industry, and they came to Tampa, Ivor City, and put a bunch of had a bunch of Cubans come down, and they're all cigar rollers, and that's how my family migrated to Tampa. on my dad's side. But my mom came here when she was 16 years old in 1980.
That's amazing. So did your dad box at all over there? Obviously, you know, boxing is such a
Yeah,
big thing in Cuba.
yeah. My dad boxed in Tampa. He boxed for Phil Leslie in Tampa, and like I said, then he moved out to California and Vegas and trained at a Johnny Taco's gym. And he was
Wow, they just
alongside.
closed Johnny's.
Yeah, he was alongside running with Michael Nunn and those guys. So yeah, My dad's trainer was Jimmy Williams, Antonio Tarver's trainer. So I'm learning from the best.
But he didn't fight in Cuba at all.
No. My dad was born and raised in Tampa.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
he's on that side. He's a Tampa native but with Cuban roots.
So do you speak Spanish?
I do not. I'm not
What?
fluent. But listen, I
You live in
understand.
Tampa.
Yes, I know. Listen,
That's like a baby Caribbean island.
I know, and it's just getting more. It's just people are migrating here more, and it's becoming like Miami. But no, I don't. But I understand everything fluently.
Wow.
I just didn't practice it.
Nah, no worries. Well, those are all my questions. I thank you for coming on. I did want to just have you come and do your victory lap, introduce you to my audience. We wanted to get you in studio last year when we were bringing people
Yeah,
in,
I know. We talked about it.
but I'm happy to have you on. Happy that you got your opportunity on Dazn, and
Thank
I
you
hope
so
you
much.
continue to get, your wins, and shout out to Peter Khan for doing his thing.
Thank you. Yeah, Peter, he's doing his thing, and we're going to the top. So yes, I believe my performance Saturday night definitely put my division on notice, and we're straight to the top with it. And I thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be on your show. I know you have a huge following with the Boxing Voice is the best in the business. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you for sure. There you have it,
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen. Jasmine Artiga, right?
Yes, and y'all can follow me on Instagram at animal.boxing. I don't do much Twitter. You'll probably find me through my regular name because I'm not with the nonsense of going back and forth on there. But
Yeah, they need to
yeah, you can
check
follow
your,
me.
your Instagram. You're like a chameleon. You look so different in so many different pictures here. You have very many different versions of yourself.
And I like to say that it's like I take that same thing into the ring with me because like I'm aggressive. So when I fight, like you're gonna I'm coming to fight. So, but I also can box. Like I can adapt. Like I say, my fighting style is winning pretty much. So, yeah, I'm the same in the ring, out of the ring.
So I feel like the nickname is a little self-explanatory, so I need to know who gave it to you and why.
I
Animal.
actually got it. I actually got it in the gyms and stuff, like sparring the boys all the time, and going to the gyms. And none of the boys ever want to spar me, but uh, yeah, I just would hear people say the animal or like beast, and I was thinking, I was like, listen, like that fits because like I like the whole versatility of it. Like I could be any animal. I don't just subject myself to one type. Like it could be like quick, fast, aggressive, strong. Just like a snake. Like like can't hit. So like it's just like it was real fitting, and it goes with my last name.
Well, I appreciate you and can't wait to have you back on. You said December you're back in the ring, right?
Yeah, we're looking at December, so keep an eye out for that.
All right. Well, once you get that fight announcement, we'll get you right back on to discuss the opponent. We appreciate you.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Guys, check out her fight on Dazn. It was actually a good fight, 8-rounder. She got a knockdown, southpaw, decent. I had been checking her out for a while. Obviously, when we were bringing people into studio, we wanted to get her in. What up, YouTube family? Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.